Good morning, YouTubers. This is the Shot Across Sports Network with the AA, bringing you another show. We're going to do a quick show on the Tennessee Vols this morning, just get you up to date on what's going on with Tennessee. Just a few, maybe an hour ago, and talk about a commitment that happened. And with that said, let's go on and get right on into the show. So Tennessee just had some bad news, really. Had a player out of Knoxville Halls by the name of Jerrell Chandler. He committed to Clemson. And I think right there at the end, it got to a bidding war on how much NIL funds and things were going to be, because usually when kids commit, they're looking at playing time. They're looking at the coaches' relationships that they have. They're looking at the school and the facilities, and you never know what's in a kid's mind, because you have handlers and agents now who kind of guide these players into making their decisions. But coming out of high school, I think he got into a bidding war for money, and I think Tennessee is very content on not chasing a player with money. Now, when it comes to defensive tackle right now, I think Tennessee really needs to go after a defensive tackle and get in a bidding war for a defensive tackle out of the portal. And then I can see probably running back too with Gabriel Gorgeous. And so I can see those two positions right now. And I can see Tennessee doing that. But as far as a corner, this guy was a real good corner. He could play corner and safety. I watched him on film. Very good tackler. Tracks the ball exceptionally well. He knows how to use his arms and his hands. Very strong with his upper body. And so he can play press coverage very well. Good prospect. Hate to see him leave the state of Tennessee. But that's what happened a few, maybe an hour or so ago. He committed to Clemson over Tennessee. Looks like Tennessee, Miami, and I think Auburn and Ohio State, I think, were involved in it. So tomorrow it's another, if you see on my tickets, another kid, Miles Brown. He's out of Martin, Tennessee. He's a cornerback, and he's supposed to announce his commitment tomorrow. And so don't know where he's really going, but it's almost the same teams, Mississippi State, Auburn, Clemson, Ohio State's involved, Alabama's involved. It's a lot of teams. Vanderbilt's deeply involved in it. And so that's who we always battling when it comes to a real good player out of the state of Tennessee. So we'll see what happens with him down the road. But like I said, Tennessee right now is sitting at like 24, I think, in the on-3 ratings as far as recruiting for high school players. And so we just have to see what happens, happens tomorrow. Basketball, Tennessee picked up another big-time recruit, 6'10", 235-pound player out of VCU. And his name is Fermin. Last name is Fermin. Let me get that paperwork over here. Christian Fermin. He played with Lee, the kid that Tennessee signed earlier out of the transfer portal. And so don't know much about him. Hadn't watched any film on him, but we'll look at him and then get back with you on some comments on him. And then of course also Tennessee did pick up a commitment from Carter Jamison, a cornerback. And I think he was out of Fairburn, Georgia. So I haven't watched him on film either to see what he can do. But we'll get with you on him. And then of course Tennessee has to get home with some of the players in the state that's not committed. The Malik Howard tight end out of Oak Ridge, they can't let him get away. They got to pick him up, and they in a battle for a lot of other schools with him. And of course, those safeties and cornerbacks are being recruited by Jim Knowles as well as Anthony Poindexter. But we got to get better. We got to do better. We got to at least get 50% of the kids in the state every year. That's what Phil Forman was doing. Sometimes Phil would do even better than that. But back in the day when Phil Forman had those great teams, he was getting 50% or more or better of the players, the best players in the state of Tennessee. So we gotta look at that also. But like the big guy is Gabriel David Gorgeous, and then basketball, same thing. We got to stop the top players from leaving the state. Now, our big competition is Vanderbilt and Memphis. That's our big competition. A lot of people don't really want to see it. Memphis has the most decorated program in the state. And so Tennessee and all of them, Tennessee's getting that way. You know, they've been to 3 Final Eights, I think 4 Final Eights in the history of their school. There's no telling how many Final Eights Memphis has been to. I don't know how many Final Fours they've been to. But I know they went to Final Fours with I went to a Final Four with Dana Kirk. They went to a Final Four with Larry Finch. And then I think they went to 2 Final Fours with John Calipari. But anyway, that's it. This is a Tennessee show. So, like I said, Tennessee is doing exceptionally well this year in basketball recruiting, especially in the transfer portal. And then they got 3 or 4 really good high school prep recruits to go along. I think it may be one more slot open. And if they do fill that slot, it's going to be a big man bigger than what they have, what they picked up so far. But anyway, that's it. That's just a quick show. Tennessee's women softball. They made it. I think they made it to the regionals in softball by winning. I think it won a double hit over the weekend. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. We're gonna watch a little bit of that also. And then of course the SEC just released their top quarterbacks in the SEC, and then I think the CBS also 24/7 Sports, they kind of introduced one too, and so it's about 2 or 3 of them out there right now. Anyway, I'm gonna have mine that I'm gonna give you here on the next show, next big Tennessee show that I do. With that said, that's going to end this show. Again, Tennessee loses out on a commitment in football just about an hour ago. And that was Jerrell Chandler out of Knoxville High School. And he committed to Clemson. And with that said, remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to get better on bringing the shows out to you. This is the Charlotte Cross Sports Network, and it's the AA. And we'll see you on the next show.